Yeah, but I actually have some interesting facts for today.
Yeah, dude, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
But I will have to leave in like 20, 25 minutes. But maybe I should say them to spice up the discussion. Because I think the best players in the world is between Europe and Japan.
Okay. Wait, so no US.
Yeah, like top five, I would say, yeah, of course, Takuya Ryoga, Adrian,
You at what? At what? Four?
Adrian Vidal,
Okay.
Yasu probably, and
Yeah.
me,
Yasu and who?
and myself.
Okay. Wait. So you have Adrian in the, do you have him in like a certain place in the top five? Like you put him above Yasu?
Um, no, it was like without a ranking.
Okay. So top five players, four Japanese, and then Adrian as well. What makes you say
I,
Adrian?
Yeah, actually, yeah. So I think about it in such a way that last year EKC, it was probably the closest competition
Yeah.
to be called like a world title because of how many people came from around the world. And like I think Europe was actually represented there because I think Europe is not really well represented in the other competitions.
Yeah.
And like you had all the best competitors that are currently the best in the world, the best in the history, and Adrian just won. And he's not even the best in Romania.
Yeah. 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 The EKC competition is definitely, I definitely, I agree. It's, if we're talking about like World Cup in terms of world representation, diversity, EKC is by far the most diverse. 100%. Interesting though. I played with Adrian in person, and he's very good. But my is I wouldn't put him in. Like, he's definitely not in my top five. I'm not saying he's bad at all. I'm just saying like there.
Maybe I put Rudny there as well.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
He's insane. Are you talking about top five Europe or top five in general?
in general.
Oh, okay.
Jersey, what are you saying? Like,
Yeah.
I thought you were memeing when you said it's like between Europe and Japan, and you would just list five Japan players.
Yeah.
But
No,
looks
but
like you're not
yeah,
joking.
I think Europe is not really well represented in the competitions. And if Europe was actually better represented, maybe it wouldn't be that obvious that America is second best continent.
What about okay, so you put like yeah, Rodney and Adrian. Well, another really good, speaking of Europeans, another really good European player that I think of is, well, I guess not technically Europe, but Tom.
Tom Patton,
Yeah.
yeah, he's European.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's crazy good, but I think he underperforms in the competition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I also look at the results, you
Yeah.
know, because that plays a factor
hmm
for me.
hmm
Uh, so yeah, but his Instagram clips are crazy good.
Yeah. What do you think? So, one thing I wanted to ask like people on this call is, what do you guys really? What's the biggest factor in making a player like, good for you? So, for example, there's a couple different ways people could measure it or go into this decision. It's like consistency in person, you see them in person play, or the tricks they post online, or competition results. I feel like those are three pretty big factors. What for you guys in this call right now? I mean, what do you guys really look for?
I would maybe say there are like I would differ to like categories like best player and best competitor maybe
Hmm. Like they're different.
because yeah, I would say that is different, yeah. Because I think someone can be like a really good player, but maybe just crumbles under pressure or something. And someone might just be like really clutch and have like the basics down. And also, let's say for open competitions, you usually it's better if you are really good, but you just need the baseline of you just have to do the tricks, right?
Yeah.
So then it just comes down to execution. I don't know what you guys think about it.
What do you think, Brandon?
I would agree with that. I was having this conversation a couple days ago, like top five in the US, and Johnny's name was definitely in the conversation. And I honestly think that a big part of that is because of how well he does at competitions. But then, Casey's name was also in that conversation, and it's like Casey isn't performing or he's not competing at the same level as like Johnny for sure. But I think the tricks that he's like posting and like the tech that he's putting out there is on another level compared to Johnny. So yeah, I think I like what you said, Vid, about maybe having like best, I don't know how you word it, but maybe like best competitor and best player. Because I do think that it's hard to put them together. Unless if you're coming up with an all-time list, then you're thinking of people that are, you know, competing at the highest level and putting out new tech and everything. And then like that's when I think like Edwin's name like enters the picture too.
Mm.
And Madi as well for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. I mean, well, that's a good analysis because, for example, KP, yeah, he's definitely gotten better at competition, but his results don't really, he hasn't achieved anything major yet, I would say. But his raw skill level in terms of people comparison to the United States, I think it's the highest. I mean, he's like by far, in my opinion, he's by far and away the best player on the locker room. But I think Miguel's the most quote unquote successful with his competition, of course. But I think he's like multiple levels higher than him in terms of skill, like raw skill. I like to describe it as raw skill. I don't know that's how what you guys are talking about. And so yeah, that is really interesting though. Yeah, I think Johnny's in that too, and he's really good comp success, and his tricks obviously are really good too. And yeah, it's interesting. What do you got? Oh, this would be kind of cool, like a top five list for people from different countries, because I feel like a top five list in general is pretty much just like Japan, so it's kind of less fun. It's kind of obvious, but unless you're Jersey, who you put Adrian Rooney in there.
I was actually thinking if I should put Tiblex as well there, but he's not like living Romania.
Wait,
So
who?
Tiblex.
Oh, dude. Oh my. It's sad that he doesn't play, man. It's sad that he doesn't like actually play.
No, he actually plays, but like he's
Wait,
not
what?
playing. He's not living in the Romania, so
Yeah.
you barely can judge him.
Oh.
But he's the. I actually also checked it to prove my point. He's the last non-Japanese person to podium at KWC.
Oh, that's
So
right.
here we have a point for Europe.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Oh yeah, he did really well in that competition. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, what would you say? What's the top? What's the top five player list for Europe?
For Europe. Yeah, Adrian, Tiblex, Rudney,
Okay.
Tom,
Okay.
and Theo, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 Thing like that. Maybe I forgot somebody, but maybe Theo.
Hmm.
Oh, and also the last non-Japanese person to podium at Catch and Flow was Davide. Also
That's
from
okay. Yeah, you're right. That's right. Yeah. One thing about Tio really quick is, dude, he has been doing so well at these past competitions. Neko freestyle, Tio did so good. It was really, really impressive. And yeah, even at Battle of the Border too. I mean, he didn't do it as good, but as Neko, but he was really, really good. So yeah, that's actually to me it makes sense in my mind. You put him in there. Who are some players? Is, what does everybody else think? I mean, that list of top five European players. Is there any players that you think should be in the list or is up in the should be thrown in the name jar right there?
I think you can throw Goya on there, but
Mm.
I think he has more of his own tech, and he doesn't. I mean, he does pretty well in competitions, but I don't know who I would swap with the ones that Jersey said.
Yeah.
Maybe Rudney, but I don't know.
Yeah, I almost wonder like Goya versus who was it? Tom, maybe, as like who would take that spot.
Mm. Yeah.
I might venture to say Goya, to be honest. I mean, he did qualify at EKC for freestyle, and I don't believe Tom did.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're taking the competition into factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, and that is also Isaac Turner, right?
Yeah, the Danish KWC representant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's born and raised. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I definitely think I definitely think Rooney's up there. I definitely think Rooney can be put in that. I played with after playing with Rooney in person,
Mm.
like last in the summer. I looked at him and dude, this guy's form when he plays is so good. It's so good. I mean, his Ken flips and he's so consistent with his Ken flips and juggles, and I feel like he posts tricks on Instagram sometimes that he can just do in 2 minutes. So,
Mm.
so if you're looking at just his tricks on Instagram too, it's just not. I know he can go after playing in person. He can go way harder. Just because of what I've seen from him lays in front of my eyes. I definitely keep him in there. I really like his play style. I would say Goy is interesting because it's like him and Tom are kind of in the same vein for me because they both and yeah, well done to Goy for doing well at the EKC prelims. He did good. And yeah, qualifying last year at EKC. And yeah, Tom didn't do pretty sure Tom didn't do either of those, right? So but I feel like they're kind of the same thing. Goy's so good and such a technical player, but he doesn't really get as many like comp results, honestly, for all the competitions he goes to, which he goes to a lot. And then but then there's like Tom on the other hand, who honestly actually did pretty well this past battle, like pretty well overall in open, and he just posts tricks. Like his main thing is literally posting tricks. He told me to my face. I mean, he said, "Yeah, I'm not really a comp player. I really like posting tricks. I'm a filmer." So and Goy is kind of that too, but Goy films less tricks, but he gets slightly better results. So it's kind of a toss up for me for that. Yeah. I don't know.
I played Ken with Rudy, I think during this summer.
Yeah.
And you know the Takuya's KWC level 12?
Yeah.
I think he did the same trick, but with triples, first try, and then he proved it to me in a game of Ken.
Yeah. He's really good. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, that's super cool. He's so good, dude. He's really nice. He's really good. He's gotten a lot better over the past year, even. Yeah. Hmm. What about like those French players though? What about the French players? I mean, did you guys meet them at Jersey like Ilawan and them? And like even Jesus Kendama?
Yeah, they are crazy good. I actually played Jesus in a freestyle at the EKC prelims,
Yeah.
and I was a bit scared, but somehow I won.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Yeah, then I lost with Goya in the semis.
Okay.
But yeah, they are crazy good, and I think there's a lot of French players, and they
Yeah.
are like if you take the average, maybe France is the best in Europe,
Really?
but they don't. It's hard to say, but they don't really have like. No, Jesus is crazy good. Yeah, he's crazy good. No, but I don't know. Yeah, but I don't think he's top 5 for me in Europe.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just hard to judge Europeans because I think the only comp they have is like EKC mostly, and then it's
Yeah.
just like one competition and it's also single inning, so it's like a really small sample size to really compare. So we have
Also,
to go off other things than competitions.
yeah, I think like in Europe, it's a bit different with Kendama because everyone plays like with their own unique style. They don't really do like this all spam tricks.
Mhm.
Maybe Tom pulls them, but yeah, I think the players are really like technical here. Like
Yeah.
they do tricks that you wouldn't even think of, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Like more
that's
you
what
the fresher style. Yeah.
I would say
yeah.
Joris and Toto are two solid French players. they were both on live like together yesterday. And it was just like nuts. Like Toto told me like a daily of his is fish to bird.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's like a wild concept to hit that as like your as like one of your daily tricks.
That's
But I think Joris is also an interesting case because he's one of the COVID kids that just like progressed hella quick, you know, through like that like kind of short time period.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually during the AKC, I was playing with like we did like a circle, and we were like just giving dares to Takuya, and I said
Yeah.
I gave him a trick like triple inward steel backflip, and Joris said, "Yeah, that's too easy. Even I can do that." And I think he hit it like first or second try, and Takuya didn't.
Yeah. Dude, Toto and Yoris are really, really good. Toto's really good. His edit he just released. Oh my gosh. So cool. Like so I really like his concept of doing the Ken flip, but he catches it like this.
Yes, dude.
Back. That's so tech.
Love that.
Yeah.
Wait, do you catch it in Ken grip, but then you like twist it, or how actually does that tech work?
You have to just catch it up here.
You just catch it a little bit early?
No, like late.
Oh,
Yeah. Even doing
yeah.
my I think I do get used to it.
To catch it like upside down and then do a quick sort of like
Yeah.
swivel. Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah, dude. That's super nice.
I saw Miguel messing with that yesterday. He was doing some cool stuff with it, but just
Yeah.
all the inspiration is just another thing that I'm finding a lot this month is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. Brandon, what would you say is the okay? So top five list for Europe was you put Adrian, Tiblex, Rudney, Tom, and Tio, but you could also throw Goya maybe in there, or dude, even those French guys, like seriously, Toto's really good. But maybe some more success at comp would more like solidify them, I think. In EKC, for example. But you're right, you guys are right. They only get one. They only get one big competition per year. Yeah.
I mean, Toto comes to America, I feel like, for the big. I think was he at NACO?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, he was at both. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I definitely agree. Not a lot of French, unfortunately, representation at like the American events yet.
No, yeah. I think what do you think? Well, Jersey, do you think that you guys get more opportunities to go to events in general? Like not big ones, but the smaller ones? Would you say that you feel there's a lot of opportunities to go to European events throughout the year?
I think now we have more comps because during the COVID, yeah, there was like literally nothing
Yeah.
except Polish Kendama Open. I think that's the only event that was running during the COVID. But yeah, now there's definitely more events. We had the Vienna Kendama Open, we had the prelims. Now there's gonna be like the Nordic Kendama Cup and all the other comps.
Yeah, there's also Italia Kendama Open and
Yeah,
Austria Kendama Open.
Austrian Kendama Open. Yeah, yeah. I think now it's getting we are having more and more events.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
Yeah,
let's
I actually have to go now, so
hey.
thanks for the short discussion.
Okay. Thanks, Jersey. Good to see you.
Great input.
See you later.
Have a good one, Jersey.
That's really cool. You guys got to meet at Vienna Cannot Open.
Yeah, it was so nice.
What was that one like, Vid?
It was super fun for me. It was actually more people than I expected. It was around 70, I think. So it was quite big. And yeah, it was so nice to see so many people like hitting hard stuff in front of your eyes. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's so crazy how people are like just there on the spot. That's like the biggest takeaway I got from it. And
Yeah,
like
hands down.
inspiration as well.
Yeah.
Brandon, what would you say is what's your top five list for America?
Yeah, this is this is a good one. So yeah, I think I said Johnny, ET, Casey, And then also, so I was talking with Atticus about this the other day, and he was like, "Are you talking about like current players or all time?" Because he made the point that like D Westy, who's not playing very much anymore, he said that at one point he thought he was actually like the highest sort of like skilled player in the
Hmm.
U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, yeah, that's valid. And then also like I feel like you have to maybe just mention like players that are currently playing because then I feel like Bonds' name would also be in there.
For sure, yeah,
Um,
just current, but yeah, currently, yeah.
yeah, current players, yeah. So I'd say Johnny, Casey, ET, um, maybe honestly probably Miguel. I feel like he was on that run for a while, and then there was a couple events that didn't sort of live up to, how much how well he had been doing. But I
Yeah,
still like, regardless, I would probably still just put Miguel up there.
yeah, yeah.
And then
Probably Jacob, right? Schultz. Or
and
maybe Nick and Zach as well. Like they're
yeah,
just like we're having this how to kendama stuff, but
yeah,
then they hit some tricks and it's
I
like
know.
I almost forget like how good you guys are, like because you just like don't compete and like are just helping with the school and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I
I
was
think you're
watching,
like
Thank you.
yeah, no, 100%. I was watching Isaac's video of the Gallagher mod breakdown,
Yeah.
and he was just talking about I think he was at this particular part, he was mentioning like Nick's progression in like 2017, 2018, and how what he was, putting out there wasn't really being done. And obviously same goes for you as well.
Mhm.
And um that like what people are doing now, like the meta now was like what y'all were doing like 7 years ago. And so then I've been like enjoying the last couple days just going back on like Nick's Instagram and just seeing like 2017, 2018 leading up to like his World Cup win, like
Yeah.
what was the type of stuff he was doing, and it's just like nuts. And it's on the kendamas that were around then, which is like all the more like appreciative for like the types of tricks that y'all were doing.
Yeah, back then, yeah. I mean, yeah, Nick definitely was like the best player, 100% for like many years there, like multiple, just pretty much outright, in my opinion. I'm also biased because I just played with him every single day, so I could just see it in person every day.
Hmm.
It was really, really, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like, there were some tricks, even like what you said earlier about Dylan, like Westmoreland. I mean, dude, you're talking about skill and filming tricks and just raw skill. That guy was really just incredible. He was in a league of his own with his like technicality, and he used to play so much. And yeah, I totally understand why Atticus said that because Dusty was doing tricks that nobody else could do, and not even get close actually. So yeah, he was
Hmm.
really good back then.
Yeah, but I think Jacob is definitely a good pick for that fifth spot there. But these conversations are also tough because there's always people that you're like, oh, it's like, oh, I forgot about, whoever, like Tiblex or whoever it is. Like, I feel like that always happens in these conversations because you can sometimes come up with like what you think are the best five, and then someone's like, oh, what about them? And you're like, oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I honestly would agree with those would probably be my players. I probably if I had to literally rank them in terms of
Yeah.
skill, I'd probably put Casey first. And then I probably put it's hard because Johnny and Jacob are like for me they're both really good. I mean Johnny's better at competing for sure, but I think Jacob is a I think Jacob can do more tricks and his raw skill is really good. So and I'll put Jacob and Johnny in that 2 and 3. I put
Mhm.
Miguel there too, because obviously really popping off his comp success speaks for himself. And then who else did you have?
ET I put up
ET,
there.
yeah.
Well, I also want to put in Alex Mitchell because apparently he can still
Ooh.
compete in the world and not even play. So I'm putting him in. I'm putting
No,
that. ET,
that's a
Alex
perfect
has to be like
example.
the best player, right? I mean, he doesn't play and he's like the best. I mean, he double podiums everything, like
Mhm.
both VATV and Meika.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was a robbery on VATV, but still.
yeah. Like the BATB didn't like he double podium with BATB and he got lucky. I don't know what happened in freestyle. But he actually got lucky. That's just what happened.
But yeah, still, he was fourth essentially.
But he's
I
still
mean, top four is
yeah,
still.
basically.
I
Yeah.
think it was so funny in that analysis video. I don't know if it was you or Nick that said you were like maybe the judges thought that he was Mahdi.
Yeah. That's my only explanation. They thought they're like, yep, Marty's on the left or Marty's on the right, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like Colton or Dylan, do y'all have input on maybe like top five for USA or for the world? I joined a couple minutes late, so I'm not sure if y'all had any rankings, but I'm curious to hear you guys' input.
Honestly, I just joined because why not?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
I don't really have a proper list, but I'd definitely say that Nick and Zach are up there.
Mhm.
Like, not just because of like the crazy tricks they do, but because of the inspiration. Like that was pretty good.
Thank you,
That's
Dylan.
a great factor to put up there. I'll definitely agree with that. Because ultimately it's like a community sport. And so it's like the tricks I see someone doing on Instagram is going to inspire the tricks that I do. And so I think that putting inspiration as like a factor in top players is like 100% valid.
Yeah, that could be a good metric too. Yeah, for kind of like influence. That's a good one to look at. What do you think, Fulton? Who are like your favorite players, and who do you think about? What do you think about this discussion?
In USA or the world?
Both.
Okay. From Japan, Yasu Yoga for
Okay.
sure. And then from US, Alex Mitchell definitely
Yeah.
up there in 5. ET too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to think. Yeah, those players are definitely top 5.
Yeah. Alex Mitchell's it's so interesting with that dude because he just doesn't. He literally said on the interview that I had with him that he plays 45 minutes a week. He doesn't bring a Kendama doll to water. He picks a fresh setup day of, and he wrecks everybody.
I
So,
think he's doing like Takuya stuff. When Takuya's tapping, I think Alex is also like doing intimidation tactic. He like
Yeah.
grinds hard and then says like, "Yeah, I'm just playing like 40 minutes a week."
That's so funny.
Just kidding.
That is so funny.
But-
Like he gets on, he in person, he's just like, yeah, I haven't even played this month. And then off camera, I mean, after the interview, he's like, yeah, see you guys, she just grinds for 5 hours.
But yeah, I think like top players in America at the moment for me are like on a pretty like similar level. Like all of the ones we listed, like top 5, 6.
Yeah.
I would say no one is like a step above the others.
Right.
Maybe Casey skill wise, but I think he still needs to like solidify himself in like comps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is Casey going to KWC this year? Maybe does anyone know?
It's a good question. I mean, if Locke sends anybody, they should definitely send him. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's trying to go. I think Miguel's trying to go for sure, and then I think Casey's trying to go. Yeah, definitely. I think we'll see. I think I know if I were to. I think Miguel's really trying to go. So.
Okay, now let's do the real top players. Let's do Japan.
Taki is my number one all day for now.
Yeah, I also think like Takuya is. I mean, Ryoga won a lot lately, but to me, it's still Takuya.
Yeah,
I think he's still a step above for me.
I think it's arguable if Ryoga takes KWC Open this year.
Takes that title, takes that.
Yeah. Because then it's like, then you win KWC, you win NACO, you win Battle, and then if you win EKC, it's like.
Dude, he's a really good shot at winning EKC. I'm just saying that right now. I honestly, I would put money on him winning that event. Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, it makes sense to put money on that guy.
He was another one who just yesterday, because I was watching like the top runs from 2024, year and Nick's like analysis of that. You were talking about how like he started playing when he was like 5 years old. So I just like scrolled all the way down to like the very beginning of his Instagram and like,
He's
what
been
was he doing then? And he has actually some goofy stuff, like where he's like wearing like masks and he like
Oh my
gets,
God. He's just a funny kid. Like he's
yeah,
just a
but
little funny kid. That's literally what he is. And then he's just
yeah,
a demon at Kendama.
yeah. But I feel like when at least like his presence, like at events doesn't like I was actually surprised to see that sort of goofy side of him on his feed because I feel like his presence at events, he's like an old wise man.
That's so funny. No, yeah. I mean, he's always been just such a young guy. I've known Ryoga for actually quite a while. I've been able to play with him in person. I mean, first time really played with him in person, I remember was like literally 2019. Was able to spend a couple of days with him, and he was pretty good. I mean, back then he was like pretty good, but it wasn't anything obviously crazy. So it's really just amazing to see how much he's like where he is now, just from back then. Because back then, I mean, he was kind of a average player, to be honest. But yeah, it's amazing, and he's so young. And honestly, I think yeah. Well, I have Taki at my number one just because if people, he's definitely less. I mean, definitely less active in the space than let's say Ryoga right now and Yasu because he's not going to events. And to be honest, I don't think Taki says some pretty mysterious kind of almost like what I think is like funny stuff. Like I think he told Nick that he's just not really wanting to go to international events anymore. He doesn't really want to. Like, and I don't know. The only reason I think that's funny is because it's like, well, why? You know, I mean, if you really wanted to go, I'm pretty sure the event organizers would help him go. And I don't think he puts himself out to opportunities to compete that much because I think he really could if he tried. Could go to these events, but I think he's just better than Ryoga at all of Ryoga's style. Like all Ryoga's style of play. I think I've seen Takia do better tricks in all of his specialties. But here's the thing: is I think Takia in Japan they have like the year before applying to university. It's kind of a thing where they just engulf their entire life in studying for like a full year to get into university. And Taki's at that age right now. And Ryoga's obviously like a sixth grader. So he's 13 years old. So he's probably going to play more this year, I'm guessing. And I think he'll surpass Taki for sure. I think he will. Yeah, this year, 100, I think so.
Yeah.
Then I don't think so. I would say like if you look at T-Blex and like I don't think he plays that much anymore with like his studying of like medical school and stuff.
Yeah.
But the stuff he lays is like it's still insane. And Alex Mitchell, he also doesn't play a lot and he's still insane. So I don't think like I don't know how it is at that high level, but I think you can still squeeze like half an hour a day if you want, even with like hard studies, and I think that's plenty to like keep the level.
Yeah.
To me, why Takuya takes it for me, it's like just he's good like at all the styles of tricks.
Yes.
Like he did didn't he do like last year for the Chrome Toti, he did like 6 border flip or something.
Yeah.
That's like I didn't even know he has like borders like that. But and yeah, he just recently did 1357 steel flip, right? It's like
Yeah, yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, he's also one of not like the best still player, honestly. Yeah, right now.
yeah, he just can get steel tower value apparently.
Oh my God.
Like,
He's really
he was
fast.
like
Maybe in that moment, just all right, settle down. You know, you're not gonna. It's not gonna take an extra 2 seconds on this. Yeah, he probably would have won if he did that. But
yeah, I think if he gets that first tee, he probably takes it. And then
yeah,
Are you referring to EKC Open?
no, okay,
no to the KWC his run when he like missed the steel tower valley like 3 or 4 times. I think he got it on fourth try or something.
2024.
Yeah, this last year.
I'll have to revisit that one.
Yeah, it's like it's insane. And yeah, then he misses the spike on the last trick for like yeah, it was so close.
yeah,
Yeah, what you're saying, Zach, about like with Tagia not wanting to go to international competitions, it totally sounds like the same story of like Tiblex in a way.
Yeah.
Mhm. And with Takuya being at the age now, was it Takuya you were saying he's like, studying for getting into university?
I think he's in that age where he's gonna have to make that transition, yeah, to do
Isn't
that.
that what happened with So a while back?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like crazy, like these because he won KWC back in the day too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So dang, it's interesting. And also like with some of the high receipts guys too, like they're not all at these events because say like similar reasons. Which I mean it's valid, I suppose, but like Kendama.
Dude, it's interesting. Like the culture is just when it's so intense. It's just so intense. I mean, for example, I mean, like let's take do you know Misaki on Lotus?
I need to look them up, maybe.
Okay, well Misaki's she's kind of like the same age as Taki, and she's literally doing that right now. She's studying really hard, and I asked her how much I asked her one time how much she studied. She's like, "Oh yeah, I just studied 10 hours a day and my life." I thought, okay, I mean, so basically a time for nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like after she goes to school, she just studies and then goes to bed. So I don't know. It's really it's interesting. It's just part of the culture, and you hear it too. I mean, I've heard it from many Japanese. Even when I was in university, like students who really grind, who are at my university on exchange from Japan, they said, yeah, I mean, the getting into university is extremely hard. It takes just so much work, but once you're there, it's easy because the work they put in is just so much harder. Like they just study all day. But but then I think about it too, and I think about okay, well, Nonoko went to university too, but Nonoko always was posting club. He never really dropped off, I don't think. So you have to look at that. But I think it's possible if they prioritize it. But I think it's just
Yeah.
the culture. It's such a powerful part.
hmm
Uh,
You brought up Nanoka, and I had just like a trick sort of like question because I was talking with Smith about this, just like
yeah.
doing tricks where you're holding the spike. Yeah. So he was like basically saying like Nanoka essentially owns the position of like handle.
Yeah.
But are you seeing or anyone in this call for that matter seeing people do a lot of like candle ring at all?
Handle ring? Not really. I mean, for the KWC trick, yeah.
What
But
was it?
it was it's candle wing to ring and then handle back to ring back to over the other wing and then you like flip it in.
Crazy. What level is that?
That's 12.
Okay, yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah. She's definitely the person who's doing that the most for sure.
Yeah, there's candle positions in general or candle handle.
Honestly, those candle stalls. Those candle stalls. Like
Sure.
her and Misu are really good at that.
Okay, yeah. Dude, that's a
Come on,
wild one.
gotta hit it. Let's go. Okay.
Dude, that one's crazy. So it's wing, ring, handle, ring
Ooh.
over the valley.
Yeah.
Holy.
And then the flip in's tricky because you don't have to exactly flip it in. To be honest, Misu literally went like this for the end of her. She's like, all right, let's go. And she like UFO'd it, I think.
Oh, okay.
She was like, all right. I don't know.
Lame.
Yeah, I'm fairly positive she did that. So but yeah, I like for going it in, I usually would go like flip it up and then toss it in, but it's not exactly straight. It can, so it's a little more difficult. So yeah, it's interesting. I think, honestly, Vid, I had the same realization as you. Like you said you didn't know, oh yeah, I didn't know Taki had borders like that. When Taki started doing slings, and this is this was a couple years ago when he uploaded his first like gunslinger trick. That's when I thought, all right, this kid can literally do every single trick on the planet. I mean, I thought honestly, I was really into slings back then, and I thought, you know what, this kid's really good, but at least I have this trick. No.
What about
To me,
like
it's so fun. His slings are so funny to me because he spins them like here, like really aggressively, doesn't he? Like some of his clips, it's like
Yeah, dude, I think he honestly, it's so, like we were saying earlier, it's like, oh yeah, and he's also the best still player. Dude, I literally think he's easily top three gunslingers. Maybe he might even be the best, like not inward gunslingers, but like just straight regular slingers. I literally think he might be the best, one of the best people gunslingers. On it, like he definitely is one of them. He might be the best one. Because dude, he's the best. He's easily the best at lates, like late, like sling late. Dude, on live stream, he hit four tap, jug, four late, like sling.
Yeah,
Nobody's done that. I've never seen that before in my entire life. And he's just doing it on live. Like nobody has done that. So that was just insanity.
My question is like, what about all the goon tech? Does Takia have it like that?
I mean, I don't know if he has the. Yeah, I mean, he could learn it. I don't know if he's doing like the string, the butterfly, whatever. But he's got the leg goons all day.
Okay.
He's got the leg goons all day. He's really good at that.
Yeah.
Um, Also, one other really impressive thing I want to say about him is that, yeah, so you're at EKC, Brandon. The tricks that I mean, one of the best parts about EKC, in my opinion, was just watching him play Ken with people because literally there was hundreds of people around watching him playing Ken with people.
Dude, he was just
Well,
like
I heard you really like that too, which is really cool.
he
But
was just collecting data.
dude, yeah, when people would set a trick on him, for example, Jack Gilligan. I mean, people would, when you set tricks on Taki, you're going to probably set a trick that's your very own style. And you're obviously you're not going to do taps or like, why would you do that? But people are trying to beat him. So they're trying to set pretty unique tricks. And dude, the amount of times he was like, oh yeah, how do you do that? And then the other opponent would like, oh yeah, so you kind of go like this and then whatever. The amount of times he actually laced it in the 3 or 2 tries that he had after just learning it was ridiculous. I mean, he would literally just learn these tricks on the spot and lace and match people. Like Jack Gilligan would set tricks on him and Taki would be like, oh wow, that was really crazy. How'd you do that? And then he would actually do them. So just the adaptability too is just really, really cool. I mean,
Absolutely.
I've never seen anything like that actually. That was the most impressive thing to me. Yeah.
It was like so
Okay,
intimidating just to see this man just standing there. And he's like, all right, anyone that wants to take me on. And that's all he did pretty much the entire sesh at that big like park.
Yeah, dude, it was perfect.
Yeah, he was like, all right, I'm just gonna stand here and any single body that wants to play me and can have at it.
Yeah, and there's nobody there who's even like remotely close to him. So it's actually it's also really fun because you get to see him play, and then when people beat him, it's super hype. Yeah, didn't really happen that often, but it did happen.
Well, do you remember like what was it? It was like the day before, like at Amsterdam when they were doing games of Ken, and it was like he played Tio, and then he played the guy, I don't know his name, but his Insta
Yannick.
is Young F Balance.
Yeah, Yannick. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
and
really good.
he was the first one to beat Takia in a game of Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yannick was a 3KO. He's crazy.
He's so good, dude. Oh man.
And he's doing 28 NBD.
MBDs, 28 MBDs later.
But what is it? So for him, it means that, or like in general, like nobody's ever done that. Period.
Yeah, the second one
Ooh.
that no one's ever done.
Yeah.
Look, so crazy.
Is he on a team?
No. Okay. Who do you guys have between Ryoga and Yasu? I think that's an interesting conversation.
I got Yasu. Okay. Hey, I used to have Ryoga over Yasu. Now after I got on the border, I got Yasu. Okay. I'm sorry, Ryoga. I'm playing this champ right now as my teammate. Yeah, I got Yasu number 2. Okay. Ryoga's got to come in and win another KWC to get back up on that list for me. Like, yeah.
But
Why is that
what is the reason?
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Yasu, I really think what he does in freestyle is so like he's just so beyond other people's levels because it's just amazing the type of consistency this kid has in a lot of tricks that people really wouldn't expect. There was a time when Yasu, I was following Yasu on Instagram and he was just posting basically dancing videos and he would just dance and then he would go to base cup, like do his classic, grab the base cup, he'll go like this, base cup, boom, like triple out, jug. triple 10-foot spike, boom, that's the clip. And he basically just did like a choreographed dance for 30 seconds before, and that was the post. So it was hard for a good amount of time to really be like, God, how good is this guy? Because I know he's really good, but he's just dancing and then boom, juggle comes with the spikes. I don't really know. Meanwhile, Ryoga's coming up and he's like, all right, well, this kid is really amazing. But, I think it started to tip for me after, of course, after Yasu started really winning like most freestyles. But honestly, even in open, Nick and I did the Asia Nako. And Yasu's coming in and he loses to Ryoga online. Like the open go, Ryoga. He takes him again in the finals, and Yasu is in the losers, has to win twice. Ryoga's super consistent. Yasu's Yasu. And Yasu literally provides the best open performance I've actually ever seen in my entire life. Like in my entire life of playing Kendama, I've never seen someone better than that. Because Yasu was literally not missing any trick against Ryoga. And that's when I really thought, wow, I mean, this kid is he's doing this at open, and he's also basically an insta finalist at any freestyle event. Basically insta finals, honestly. And so but combining both those skills, for example, if I'm just basing off competition, Yasu has won KWC before. Now he's sticking to his strategy of only doing level 10s, 11s, and 12s. I don't blame him for that. It worked for him before. He's never been able to make it work again. I honestly think if he just played normally and did a normal KWC strategy, he could easily top 3 podium. I mean, he could easily. It wouldn't even be a check. Actually, I don't even think it would be hard for him, honestly. I don't even think it would be hard. I think he could do it. He's won KWC before, and right now, his freestyle is way better than everybody else. And his open skill, he didn't even know the tricks of battle. Like he literally didn't know them. And he can't even he wasn't even going off like, oh yeah, it's on another level too, because it's not like, oh, I don't know the tricks. What's the trick? And like, oh, let me read the card. Dude, he can't read English. Like he's going off what people are like telling him. So he could easily misinterpret what people are telling him and do a trick wrong. And sometimes that happened. Like he would lace a trick and he'd be like, oh, that doesn't count on technicality. And so he doesn't know these tricks at all, and he got 4th. Like he literally beat Miguel in a minute and 20 seconds. And he didn't even know the tricks. Like Miguel misses, Yasu's like, okay, like what do I do? He's like, oh, okay, lace. And I just don't get it, dude. People are grinding for so long to hone in those tricks, and he's coming up there. He's literally like flu, and he just destroys you. So I just think with the comparison, yes, Ryoga's better open player overall. I mean, clearly, but yeah, Yasu, does he even? I don't think he even tries for that. Like he literally doesn't. And Ryoga's wanting to win freestyle, but Yasu easily has better freestyle than Ryoga. And Ryoga's good at freestyle, but Yasu's obviously on another planet. So honestly, when I'm thinking about, all right, he's won KWC. I know he's capable. Like freestyle he's the best, and open. I mean, he could be the best. I don't know if he wanted to, maybe. Like I know he has the skill. And plus his raw tricks and his live streams, that's another thing. That's like the last thing I want to say is that this kid in person is literally like, he's almost on that Takia level of doing stuff that on such a consistent basis that it's comical. It's kind of like you're thinking, wow, I'm blessed to watch this in person. Like he's on that level in person. So, and one more thing. All right. I just want to say this. Hey, I think Crom's newer Kendamas are better. They're better models. I just want to say that Yasu can literally make an old Crom, which generally I think people might. I just want to say I'm pretty confident in this. Has a lower play, like they're generally just not as good of playing Kendamas as most Kendamas now. And he can play on any Kendama and make it look like the best Kendama on planet Earth. I honestly like his champion model, the all black one, really beautiful design. I generally think it's one of the worst playing Kendamas I've ever played. Okay, just want to say that right now. I don't think it's good to play. I think it's beautiful. He literally got a 99 prelim on that. Like, yeah. On KWC, I don't even understand. Yeah, dude, I don't get it. So that's my long-winded explanation of Yasu. Yeah, dude, I freaking love Yasu and Takia. Obviously, you can tell, but yeah.
With Yasu, it's also interesting for me because I rewatched his I think it was 2023 EKC like run when it went viral, or like when it was like really crazy. But if you compare that run to what he did at BATB, it's
Oh
like
my
not
god.
close. In that one, he like mostly, I mean, juggles to spike and does some extra stuff, but he doesn't do like any of the really, really hard tricks. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting how, I don't know, maybe it was just this run at BATB, but I don't think so. I think he progressed like a lot in the like last in the recent years. I don't know.
Is
Yeah.
What's
the
your guys' take?
the match you're talking about that you're comparing it, it was his KWC run, was it? Is that what you said?
No, EKC freestyle.
EKC like freestyle.
In 2023.
Yeah.
I think 2023 or
When he won.
2022 as well.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Which was the one when he still had like long hair and he was wearing like a Hawaiian shirt? I think that was yeah, that one was crazy, crazy to watch on the stream. But yeah, so you think yeah, I would have to rewatch that now.
Yeah, rewatch it, and you'll see. Let me know what you think after rewatching it because
Yeah.
it's on a different level.
But he still took the whole crowd by storm, like
Yeah.
at that performance.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. And I was actually thinking about the same thing the other day. Because yeah, in his EKC performance, he's so good at like, dude, his main thing was basically doing base cup and then doing swap it, tap back, triple flip out, and then juggle to spike, or like he'll do a triple rotation jug spike, or like jug like Kempton spike. That was just kind of his main. But yeah, after about the border, I just thought, wow. I mean, he's doing way more technical tricks, way more risky tricks to at that high level, and he's still so consistent at them. So he's definitely leveled up his freestyle, which is pretty scary because I feel like after that moment, it was always like, wow, Yasu's easily the best. Like he's clearly on another level. Oh my gosh! And so when you're already at the top, it can kind of be hard to see how much they're improving because they're already at the top. But yeah, that's really, if you take a look at both those runs, you can tell he's improved so much, which is pretty awesome.
That's one thing I think is really interesting about like the top of the top of the top, like the 99th percentile players,
Yeah.
and how much of a jump it is for them to get to like 100%. Because I think like, back to the whole general, like, top players in general, with like putting Johnny's name in there, definitely in terms of competition. I feel like for at least like the last couple of years, he's been like right there in like the finals, or if not the semifinals of like open. And
Yeah.
same with Mahdi as well. And even on like the world stage at like KWC, like he's getting podium, it seems like every year. I don't know the stats off the top of my
Yes.
head. So there's like two of those players that come to mind are like Johnny and Mahdi that are like, I would consider like 99th percentile players. And it's like, what does it take to get that final percent and like get the dub?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You gotta beat you gotta beat the 99% players. That's actually it.
Have to win.
You gotta go up there and compete with them. And Mahdi's a great example of somebody who, I mean, has been up there in that conversation for so long. And yeah, same thing with Johnny too, especially on the US side. Really, really good at that play things. Just always there might be one or two players that are better on that day than him, or maybe better raw skill. So it's just, yeah, it's just you gotta like that's what it takes. You gotta take somebody down who's basically higher than you on the tier list, So that's, yeah, I think that's really interesting. I think I guess if I were to go, I don't think that the top 8 players right now. I'd go like Takia, Yasu, Ryoga. But then after that, it's kind of difficult. I think I put Mahdi in there though too. Honestly, I feel pretty confident putting Mahdi in there just because of his everything that we've already talked about. I mean, he is everything though too. He's really good at freestyle. He's really good at open. He placed in the top 3 at KWC probably 3 times, which is literally ridiculous. And the tricks he posts, like the cherry on top, I think is honestly the tricks he posts. They're
Mhm.
so powerful. And he can do he's like, in my opinion, I think he's the most diverse player on the planet. I think, like, talk about somebody who can do every trick. This guy can actually do every single trick. So I put him in the top. I think those 4 definitely make up my top 4. But after that, I mean, you could definitely start making some arguments for the 5th person, I believe.
Mhm. On the Instagram poll, I had those same four, and then my fifth one I put was Alex Mitchell.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely. I think, yeah, there's definitely discussions there.
I don't even feel good putting Alex on top anything because, but it's just undeniable, you know.
He's just showing up and podiuming.
I don't really know. It's tough though. Who would you say? So Vid, who is your like top five? Who are really top five favorite?
Yeah, I would have the same, like
Okay.
Takuya, Yasu, Yoga, Mati, and then for the fifth one, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like Casey because I mean I like Casey, I said. I mean, but I think Casey has a lot of potential, but I think he needs to capitalize on it. He needs to prove something more, I think, to be in the top 5 spot.
And by
Yeah.
that,
I like to be the top non-Japanese player for me. So it would probably be I'd say ET for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think honestly, what's undeniable is like all these top players we just said and agreed on. The competition aspect is there for all of them. I mean, they're all so good raw skill level wise, but every single one of them have proved themselves in competition. Yeah, I agree. I mean, part of me wants to instinctively say, oh yeah, Casey for number 5, but there's like that one major aspect he's missing is having that comp success that all these players and these upper echelon of players, I mean, they all have achieved. So. Yeah, I think maybe to put in that spot, it'd make more sense for someone like Alex, who's done super well at most competitions, to put in there, even though his playing frequency right now is low. He still gets results. So yeah.
this is a great discussion. I'm gonna hop off, but it's always a pleasure chatting with y'all.
Good. Likewise, Brandon. I think it's a good place to call here too, because it's been an hour. But great to see you guys. Good discussion. That was really fun. I think I might post this on YouTube or something. So
Guys, it was recording. Let's go.
yeah. So yeah, great to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for
See you guys later
hosting.
today.
Likewise, thanks.
Thank you, Dylan. All right.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
Colton.
Have a good one.
Bye.